Big, what's happening? We got a construction update for you. How about that? We have been blessed with some new photos from Bio Reconstruct, and everything that you're going to see here, apart from the flashback photos that we're going to show you from their last update, all the new photos you're going to see are from Bio Reconstruct, who does helicopter flyovers, mostly in Florida, but he's over here on the West Coast, and he did a run over at Disneyland, and so we got some really, really amazing shots from above Disneyland. We're going to look at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway that you're looking at right now, and then Avengers Campus. Unfortunately, he didn't post any photos over Haunted Mansion, so we don't know if that is still under construction, but I digress. So we're going to start here. By the way, I should say, before we continue, do follow Bio Reconstruct on Twitter, because he posts photos on the constantly, and even if they're in another state from where you are, or if they're if it's not your home park, still watch, because it's interesting, it's fascinating. I love watching things get built, and so if you're like me, then you'll love watching or following Bio Reconstruct. So with that said, let's take a closer look at some of those photos that he provided us, and this one is from high above Disneyland in general. You can see all of Disneyland there, not all of it, nearly all of it, and that's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That's that swath of dirt over here, and what we're going to notice here is that pretty much nothing has changed since we were here last. So they have not been working on Runaway Railway while while we've been in lockdown. Now this is a very wide shot, but I do want to note here. Let's look at the image that we captured. This is from the 5 freeway overpass on Harbor Boulevard, and you can see that tarp over the mound of dirt that was there at the time. If we take a closer look at the next image, and you can see that tarp is gone. It is the same pile of dirt. I try to make sure, and I'm pretty sure it is the same pile of dirt. And now, I love talking about dirt. It's like my favorite thing. The dirt is uncovered. Now, that means something. It means that they're getting ready to do things. They're at least getting ready to do something here at Runaway Railway. They're not leaving it in a hibernated state, as it were. Now, I mention that because one of the things, when they announced the change for Splash Mountain into Princess and the Frog, there was an interview with one of the head Imagineers at Disney, and he had said that they're not going to just restart everything all at once, because they don't have a big budget. They don't have a lot of money to throw around at construction projects at the moment. They don't necessarily want to kill them, but they just can't get them all going at once. So they're going to do them in phases. At least that was the inference that I said, because he did mention phases. They're going to do phased restarts for some of the major projects. And Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was one of those projects that would be done in phases. So they're going to be working and then not working. So it's going to certainly delay this quite a while. But like I said, they've removed the tarp, which is a good sign. Let's get closer. Actually, this is from the opposite angle. This would be, the Mickey and Friends parking structure, but high above it. But this is that angle, that side of the park. You can see Toontown now on the right instead of on the left. What you're noticing there, well, no visible construction, obviously. They're a long way from anything like that. I don't know if you recall when they built Star Wars Land. It took months and months and months for them for us to see anything other than dirt. And then they finally started to dig foundations, holes in the ground for foundation, things like that. And then you started to see a little bit of, forms and then vertical. So we're a long way from that. But you can see vehicles, ride vehicles. You can see vehicles on the site. And again, that suggests work being done, movement. So there we go. That's it. That's it for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We're going to move next to Avengers Campus. And again, this is a high-level shot from high above Avengers Campus. To the left, there's Cars Land, Radiator Springs Racers, etc. And then Tower of Terror down there in the lower middle. And in between all that is Avengers Campus, this little section right here. Now, we can't learn much from this wide angle, but I thought it was a good place to start. And then we'll focus in a little further And now we're behind, we're over the backstage areas right now. The helicopter's over backstage, looking at the back of Tower of Terror or, Mission Breakout. So that's Mission Breakout. There's a Spider-Man building. And then this right here is that new building, the new cast member building that they've been constructing behind Luigi's Rollicking Roasters. Now, I'll say again, it does look like this is a site that they have been working on. I don't know for how long, not very long, because it looks about the same as it did, a few months ago when we were looking at some overhead shots. Matter of fact, let's get a little closer on this shot. And now we're kind of, I'd say we're probably right over Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters right now with the helicopter looking into Avengers Campus. There you can see in the far right is Mission Breakout. That's Pym Foods. That's the Avengery building. And that's the very end of Spider-Man. So what you were looking at here, if you were to look at the concept art, that area, the dark area with the dirt, that's right about where you would find the Avengers logo in the concept art. That's pretty much where that is. Now, this looks about the same as it did a few months ago when we did our last update, but some work has been done. I could probably find more detail to kind of spot the differences, but it's not a lot. Here's a shot. This is from the last update we got. I can't remember who did these overheads. It wasn't BioReconstruct, but I think it was a near map image. I can't remember now. But for one, you can see on this site, there's a tarp over some dirt there right in the middle of the shot. And then to its left, you can see some forms being constructed right in front of those trees. If we come back to this image, those forms have now turned into concrete walls. So actually, now that I look at it, because I had to toggle this a few times, I think they have put up some new forms right in front of the tree right here. It's hard to tell because in this image back here, the older image, it's hard to tell if those forms existed or not. But I'm pretty sure the concrete walls that, I don't know if you want to call those walls or not, whatever they are, perimeters of something, I'm pretty sure those are the same forms. But otherwise, take a look at this. Here's this area right here is that sort of, it looks like it's got a glass ceiling on it in the concept art. That's that section there. I think we observed that last time. This looks about the same as it did a few months ago. There it is again from this old photo. Tissue box looks about the same. Now, Pym Foods, this is where we can also see a little something happening, I think. Previously, if you look at the entrance is right in the middle, right? And then they've got this section here that they're setting up some forms there, and then there's nothing to the left. And if we toggle back, there's the forms again, but it looks like they've started to do something here in front of the left side of the entrance. Again, it's kind of, we're just looking for details to see how far along they've gotten, and I think the verdict is not very far. Not very far. They've begun work again, but it's recent. I think it's only in the last month or so that they've begun working again, which is, kind of a bummer because I've seen there's construction going on all over the place. By where we live, for example, they're building stuff all over the place. So it's not like they needed to stop. Other sites have kept going. Non-Disney type construction that I've noticed. Apartments, retail buildings, things like that. I observe this stuff constantly at where I live. So I think that Disney just decided to put everything on pause. Probably it's a funding thing, but who knows? But I digress. A couple more things. If we look at the Avengery building and look at what I've noticed? This is not a very big building. It looks more impressive when we're observing it from, let's say, Mickey's Fun Wheel. But there's not going to be hardly anything inside of this. This is facade, I think. Look how narrow that part of the building here. This is, by the way, here's how it looked a few months ago, and you can see that they have made some progress here as well. It looks like the scaffolding has come down. See the scaffolding right here on this extension of the building, and then now it's a smooth wall. The scaffolding has remained on the left, which it looks like they're nearly finished with that. And then the roof has gone from a black surface, which is, there's many layers to the roofs here, but it's gone from this black surface to the white surface on here. So that's getting some progress. And then obviously you can see the Quinjet down there, which previously was covered by a tarp. But yeah, I'm noticing not a very big building over here. You can see, by the way, also the red car trolley tracks are still there, and they're going to enter the this extension of the building right here. I don't know if they're going to park it here or if it's going to drive right through, because this is where you formerly parked it. I think that might be it, where they parked the red car trolley before. Although I'm not sure. I don't see any tracks back there, so it's hard to say. They may just park it right there, which is curious. But that tells me that they're not doing much with this structure other than having it as facade. At least I think. I mean, there is that rumor, or that idea, that they're going to build another e-ticket back here somewhere in this space. But I'm not exactly sure if we widen our shot a little bit. Because the area right behind the Avengers building is really Mission Breakout. So where do you park that building? Is it where the Quinjet is now and the red car trolley building, or the building that I thought could be the red car trolley building? I hope I'm there the day. I hope the park is open and I'm there the day they bring in the crane to hoist the Quinjet and place it on top of the Avengers building. I hope I'm there that day. I remember how excited I was when I watched them crane in the shuttlecraft, the supply shuttlecraft into Galaxy's Edge that goes on top of Docking Bay 7. That was an exciting day. Okay, we have another image. Now we're looking at the Spider-Man building, which has always been the furthest ahead of all of the structures being built in Avengers Campus. It's always been the one that you could see the most progress on, and it looks about like it did a few months ago when we got those images from overhead. I want to say that it's been in a near finished state from the exterior for a while. They've been doing finishing touches, putting in windows, and final applications to the building's exterior. So what you see right now in this image is pretty much what you're going to get, I think, with the finished product. And so with that, there's really not a lot to observe, I guess. Okay, we move a little forward now, and we're seeing again that atrium-looking area behind the Spider-Man building, which I don't really know what that's for. If that's backstage, well, no, that's got to be on stage, this area. But I'm not sure what its purpose is based on the concept art. It's hard to determine what it is that they're trying to present to us here. But it's right next to Pim Foods, and that's an area that I'm kind of curious to see how that develops going forward. You can see these items here protruding out are these items here in the concept art. That gives you a sense of reference as you walk through. This is like the main artery leading in from DCA proper into Avengers Campus, feeding into the heart of the land. As you pass that signage, the what do you call it? The quad, if you will, of the campus. I don't know if you have a quad in your high school or your college. We had a quad, and it was that sort of open area in the middle of the campus that everything else is built around. So that feels like that's what they're kind of presenting us here. Here's another shot of that atrium-looking area from as the helicopter kind of makes a turn, and then here's a look where you start to see the Pim Foods sort of come into view again, and we can see that the work that they're doing in front of. That's a big building for a dining location. I cannot wait to see how that looks inside. That is a really big building. That could be interesting. And I don't know if you've seen, they showed us the concept art and some of the first looks at the menu. What kind of food you're gonna get in there. We've seen a little bit of concept art of inside. But this is going to be an interesting place to have lunch. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this and trying out the food here because they've got some really cool looking ideas. And then one more shot as the camera turns around, and we can kind of get a look at the Doctor Strange area, which I don't really have anything to compare this to because the photos we got from a few months ago didn't really present this angle. I don't think. No, I don't have anything from that. So this is our first look in this direction, which is kind of neat. You can see they're building something in the round right here. A lot of little things popping up. That's that finished, the stuff area, the stuff that was, or the area that was formerly a form. Now there's concrete poured, and they're building an arena. I would guess some sort of, theater or something to do in the round for a performance. That's my guess. That looks like that might be the proper Doctor Strange performance area. And then to its left from our angle is the entrance from Cars Land. You can see Luigi's Rollicking Roasters just out of frame to the left. And you might recall, actually, Ronnie and I doing a bit we shot from right here, looking through the path in front of Luigi's. That's where we shot that from, so to give you a little reference on that. This is an interesting development. I don't know what this is. What are they building here? Because I don't think that's part of Doctor Strange. That's something else. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what it is, but it's something else. I may need you guys to tell me what you see there. That does look, though, the Doctor Strange area, that does look, though, to be sort of an open, what do you want to call it? If we look at the concept art, you can kind of just see there's no real structure to it. There's no congruent or, it's kind of open area where people can walk through. And then there's that area in the round that we were talking about. And you can't really make out, unless that's what that wall is here. Is this wall, is that what I'm seeing right here? This wall right there, is that this wall right here? And so what you're getting there is just, that would be great. I would love that if that's all they put there, is just more horticulture, right? Bushes, foliage, trees, flowers, something like that. I mean, are they really going to commit that much space to that? That would be great. I would love that. Okay, let's press on. We got a few more to look at, like this view as the camera turns towards. What are we going to say? This is almost straight over the land now, and it's looking at mostly Mission Breakout with the Avenger building there, and Pim Foods, and you can see again the trolley tracks traveling into the Avengers building. And then here's a close-up of the Avengers building with the white finished roof and the Quinjet to the right. And then finally, one more look at Pim Foods. And again, imagine an Avengers logo on the ground right there. Pretty neat. And that's it for Avengers Campus. I was hoping for more. I really was. I was hoping that they were working on this quite a bit, but you can tell that they have definitely stopped. But it's still cool to see that things are dialing back in again. Hopefully they'll keep the progress going. Now, even though we're done here, I do have a little bit of some bonus coverage for you because BioReconstruct also took his camera or his helicopter to other theme parks. And the one that people are probably most interested in is Universal Studios Hollywood. And that, what you're looking at right there in the lower center of the frame, is the Nintendo land that they're building. This right here that's the elevator or the escalator that you take down to the lower level. That's the Jurassic Park drop building. There's the proper Jurassic Park attraction area there, the boat portion. And then over here across the street is Nintendo Land. I guess, I don't know if that's what they're calling it. We can get a closer look. There's not a lot to see. It's only recently gone vertical, it looks like. And I don't know if they've been working. This is the first I've really noticed it for a while. So I've been paying attention to the construction of Nintendo Land at all. You should check out Theme Park Obsessions for that, because he does keep up to date with Universal quite a bit. But that's it looks like I don't know what they're building there. Is that all just one ride? I read BioReconstruct said in his tweet when he posted this that this section right here, this whole building is also part of Nintendo Land, and you come out of that building into this area. And I do like the fact that there's different heights there, which suggest a lot of layers, like you see in a Mario world. Different layers to jump up to. You know what I mean? And then here's a look from another angle. I am so hyped. They've got all my money. If they do this right, Universal, because then you're gonna have Harry Potter Town, and you're gonna have Nintendo Land. Are you kidding? Those are two great IPs, and if they do Nintendo World right, or Nintendo Land, or whatever the hell you want to call it, if they do it right, they're gonna get a lot of my money. They really are. I mean, I love Disney, but I do love Nintendo also. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for our construction update this week, such that it is. Hopefully, we'll have some real stuff coming. I tried to get footage of the Disneyland Hotel construction, but we couldn't get back there. They have it blocked off, so I couldn't see anything. I'm not sure where you can see anything as far as that goes. So maybe they'll open that up in the near future, and I'll try to get some shots because they're building a new wing. I don't know if you heard, but they're building a new wing to the Disneyland Hotel, a fourth building or tower or whatever you want to call it. But there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it very much. We will see you next time, and until then, fresh baked.